ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः अर्जुन विषादयोगः।
दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति कुलधर्मः सनातन धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम् अधर्मो विभवत्युत अधर्मविभवत् कृष्ण प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय जायते वर्णसङ्करः सङ्करो नरकायैव कुलघ्नानां कुलस्य च वदन्ति पितरो ह्येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः दोषैरेते कुलघ्नानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्सार्यन्ते जातिधर्माः कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः उत्सन्नः कुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वसः।
वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. In the 41st shloka, Arjuna says, Hey Krishna, when there is adharma, that means which is not correct, the ladies, they go for illegal things, especially during the war when youth are killed and only old and useless fellows are left. Then women, in order to take care of their children and their family, they have to marry or live with someone who is out of their varna, and as a result there is a varna sankara. When there is a mixing of this sort of thing, whatever the children who are born illegally or legally, they belong to which varna, which kula? That's the question that Arjuna is asking to Krishna. And here he says, Adharmabhi bhavat Krishna pradushyanti kulastriyaha. What kula these women will belong to? And he says, God has given us anthakarana, the inner soul, where we can think what is pure, and when the mind is pure, the buddhi is satvika, and always there are good thoughts in the mind, and whatever actions are done are good. But when anthakarana becomes ashuddha or impure, then the buddhi also becomes tamasi and greedy, and they become become sinners and become bad. So they do not distinguish between kartavya and akartavya. What is good, what is bad, that distinction is lost and the prajna is lost. And as a result, hey Krishna, here he says Krishna because Krishna is the one who has the magnetic force and attracts everyone. And he says Varshneya, he calls. Varshneya is the Krishna is born in the Vrishni Vamsha, and as a result he is called as Varshneya. And then he says, when such a Sankarana occurs, Varna Sankarana, and mixing of Varna occurs, and what will happen? Into which kula these children will be born, he asks. And in the 42nd shloka, he continues and asks, with this sort of Varna Sankarana, the children who are born becomes kulaghati. That means they are against their own origin, and then they are not able to do shraddha, tarpana to their elders who have no more here, and neither will they give respect to their own elders who are living, and also to the people who have dead, because they will not have that intention or the devotion or bhakti to do the Pitru Tarpana or Shraddha, and as a result the people, their ancestors in the hell or heaven, they are also atrupta, they are not satisfied, and also the elders in the family are also not happy with this art of kulaghataka children, or those who are born out of Varna Sankara, he says. Then he says Parishishta Bhava. They will not have this feeling of their own, and as a result they start distinguishing, and this is not good for the living as well as the non-living, he says, the dead. In the 43rd shloka, he further continues and says, this Varna Sankarana, it leads to Kulaghataka, and as a result, these Kulaghataka will not bother about the Kula Dharma and Jati Dharma, because every Kula or the ancestry or their Varna, they have their own tradition, their own ways of doing the things, and they have come for some times immemorable. But these people will not have what was the tradition, how it has to be done, and they will not know the distinction between the good and the bad, and as a result they do not follow the Kula Dharma of that family. And as a result, in the 44th shloka further he says, He Janardhana, when Kula Dharma itself is destroyed, and this man who is greedy and he is fit to go to the Naraka or the hell, and what will happen to the family, what is the future of these people? And he asks, this is not correct, because such illegal children will be responsible for doing all the sinful things, and as a result in this world they become they receive only the hatred, then apamana, that is the they get defamed, and tiraskara, that is they will not be accepted by the society, and as a result they get durgati here as well as they will get the naraka prapti and they go to hell. And hence in the 45th shloka he continues further and he asks, I am really surprised, I am shocked, and I am really saddened by what the yuddha or the war is going to come up to. And here he uses the word because he is so depressed and he is so drowned in his sorrow of thinking of what will happen after the war, that he says Aho Bata. That means Aho is his really surprised, Bata is his saddened. And this he says because after the end of the war, this is like killing our own people, it will end up with the Mahat Papa. That means this is the greatest sin that anybody can do. Killing their own people, killing the whole humanity and causing chaos all around, and that is really unacceptable, and this is going to create chaos and anarchy. And the Kautumbika Moha that Arjuna is there, that he sees his own people, he sees everyone as his family members, and by killing the wicked people like Duryodhana and his people, he is not thinking that it is his duty, but instead he wants to run away from his duty. And as a at the end of the shloka, he says, I am really saddened, I am surprised. How can we do such a bad thing? How can we do such a papa, that is the sin? And I am really not ready to do this, he says. And this happens to everyone. Whenever you face a dvandva, a duality, whether to do or not to do, most of the time if you are defeatist, you want to run away from the situation, and at that time you can give lots of excuses to run away from that. And this is happening for all of us in our day life. So I end here the 45th shloka's explanation with Krishnarpanamastu Pranama.